Good day, everyone, and welcome to this special live session. If you're watching for the first time, I'm Michelle Samuel. I'm the founder and CEO of SLUDTERA and MNS Consultancy. By profession, I'm a startup specialist, business development and social impact consultant, and a passionate advocate for entrepreneurship in St. Lucia and beyond. You may also know me as a 2017 YLI alumna, a Global Startup Huddle mentor, and a 2019 Gen Compass Ecosystem Builder Champion nominee. And now I am honored to share some exciting news. I have been appointed the GEC 2025 Ambassador for St. Lucia by the Global Entrepreneurship Network. Yes, so praise the Lord. And thank you to everybody who has extended their congratulations thus far to me. I truly, truly appreciate it. Before I move on with the rest of what I need to share with you, I would like to offer a word of prayer. Father Lord, I want to thank you so very much for the breath of life that you've given me, that you've given persons who are watching or viewing or listening. And I ask and pray that you be in the midst of me. Let no technical issues hold back what I'm about to share. And I pray that you be with each and every person and bless them abundantly today. Amen. So thank you for for those of you who would have been praying along with me. I appreciate that. So just to get down to business. So my appointment comes after I held the position of Startup Huddle St. Lucia organizer from 2018 to 2024. I was appointed to the role of Startup Huddle Global Mentor in 2021, where I provide guidance, insight, and knowledge to Startup Huddle organizers all over the globe where Gen programs operate. By the grace of God, I presented a proposal which led to the scale up of the Startup Huddle program to the rest of the OECS islands. Okay, so my vision was that the program would be most effectively led and managed by YLI alumni, like myself, with the exception of Barbados, which is led by the Barbados Youth Business Trust. Um, with the support of the US Department of State via its US Embassy based in Barbados, the Startup Huddle program scaled to Dominica, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Kitts and Nevis, Antigua and Barbuda, and Grenada. Again, these islands all led by YLI alumni. In 2019, the same year as my Gen Compass Ecosystem Builder Champion nomination, I signed an agreement to lead Entrepreneurship World Cup in St. Lucia, and I have served as the country director from then until now. I'm responsible for hosting the national event, which selects a winner from St. Lucia to potentially represent the island at the global finals in Saudi Arabia. Our national winners over the years have been Penny Pinch, Engage, 360, and Riffbid. Let me just take a moment to just put a plug in here that applications for this year's Entrepreneurship World Cup is currently open. To apply, persons, you can go to SLUDTERA.org /road to Entrepreneurship World Cup. So again, you can go over to SLUDTERA, that's SLUDTERA.org. You can just go to pages on the menu and you can just scoot down to Road to Entrepreneurship World Cup, click on that, and you can see all the information right there. I can maybe give you a glance at it before we end this live so that you can see what the page looks like. But I digress. Let's get back to GEC 2025, right? In this prestigious role of GEC 2025 Ambassador to St. Lucia, I have the responsibility and privilege of leading a delegation of 10 outstanding individuals from St. Lucia to attend the 2025 GEC, which takes place this June in Indianapolis, Indiana. Now, if you're unfamiliar with GEC, if you're hearing it for the first time, let me tell you, this is the premier global gathering of entrepreneurs in the world. We're talking about entrepreneurs, investors, policymakers, ecosystem builders from over 200 countries. This year's theme is The Bold Change the World. In a world of constant change and complex challenges, it is the bold who move the ideas forward from ideas to action, right? Persons who are stepping forward to drive transformational change. Entrepreneurs who accept, but not only accept, but overcome risk as they develop products and services that improve daily lives. Investors who build funds, who create opportunities, and identify those promising and new startups while shaping their growth. Policymakers who simplify regulations and reduce burdens to entrepreneurship, ensuring that legal frameworks support business formation and growth. Ecosystem builders such as myself, who are the connective tissue, bringing everything together, stitching everything together to ensure entrepreneurs have the infrastructure, the resources, the networks that are necessary to succeed. The Global Entrepreneurship Congress gathers all of those ecosystem players all under one roof, building community level connectivity through cross cutting interactions and collisions between delegates to design innovative solutions and mobilize collective action. GEC 2025, the bold changed the world. This event is set to gather more than 5,000 entrepreneurs, investors, policymakers, and ecosystem builders from over 200 countries where Gen operates, providing persons like me, persons like you, with an opportunity to build an impactful network and gain deep knowledge that you can't just find anywhere, while also scouring for content in a virtual meeting. GEC will kick off with curated delegate connections through self-selected areas of interest identified by entrepreneurs, investors, policymakers, and ecosystem builders, such as building stronger networks, right? Facilitating cross-border collaboration, which is key to expansion and growth, of course. Optimizing an entrepreneurship regulatory environment, expanding access to high quality deal flow, boosting due diligence, readiness, and more. Now, throughout the Congress, there will be several key, highly interactive sessions that are specifically designed to drive delegates into side conversations. This will help to maximize value and impact of the event. And this is our chance to showcase St. Lucia's entrepreneurial talent on a global stage, build powerful connections, and of course, create opportunities that can elevate not just our businesses, but our entire entrepreneurship ecosystem. And I have something to share with you at this point, just to give you an idea as to what it looked like, what the experience was like for me when I attended GEC in 2019. So this is a bit of a sneak peek. So I'm going to put up this picture here. So this is a photograph of me at the airport after I landed in Bahrain. I landed very late in the evening, and I asked one of the airport staff to take a photo of me in front of the banner. And this was that photo. So this journey was what propelled me into the life of what the value of networking is, the value of connecting with like minded individuals from various backgrounds, various countries, various cultures, all in one place. It was just the beginning of an amazing journey that I have not, regretted up to the day like today. Have not regretted. And so this was a picture of me in Bahrain, right? But then I went a step further. I documented using videography, or should I say vlogs, my entire trip. So that way, persons who could not have come with me could have followed me and see what the experience was like. And one of these videos is what I will share with you at this time. It was the video of me arriving at the venue where GEC 2019 was going to be held. So let me just share this video with you. And right now, with everybody else, just want you to get a look at, just want you to take a look at what it looks like. The entrance is amazing, guys. Look at that. These people went all out. They went all out. This is beautiful. And this is the rest of the surroundings. There are like flags flying everywhere. This is a global event, you guys. A global event. This is big. This is huge. This event is extremely huge, and Startup LLC in Lucia is a part of it. So I'm heading into the center now, passing through the tunnel. I'm heading through to the entrance of the center now. So I'm gonna keep talking to you guys. I'll have to check it now, so I'll get back to you shortly. Okay, now something I want to point out in the vlogs that I did for my experience in GEC was not to just showcase the fact that I attended, was to showcase the fact that a St. Lucian entrepreneur for the first time was able to take part in such an event. No other St. Lucian entrepreneur from the startup community representing the small business community had ever been to a GEC event. So this was a milestone in itself. I remember that I had attempted to get an entrepreneur to attend with me, but unfortunately, she could not have attended. But I was able to carry her products along with me. And what meant the most to me and to her was that even though she could not make the trip, her products could make the trip. And I'm referring to the products of Sanu St. Lucia. So she was the very first entrepreneur from the small business community that embodied that trip, not through her presence, but through her products. And persons were able to experience what her products were like and also be able to experience what her business offers, which is curating of products locally made from different parts of the island. And it was such a pleasure for me to bring her products along with me and for me to share them with the other persons that I met during that period of time. And so Bahrain was a blessing for not only for me, but for St. Lucia, because it was at that time, at that GEC, that I signed on to host Entrepreneurship World Cup, or should I say signed on for St. Lucia to join the Entrepreneurship World Cup community. And since then, this competition, this global competition, which is known as the biggest competition in the world, has birthed change makers, innovators, and persons who are making an impact, not only in business, but in their community every single year, from the time it launched to today. And though our local entrepreneurs have not won any global awards, the mere fact that they get to be part of such a program, part of such an event, part of such a competition just shows that there are opportunities out there for our small business community and our entrepreneurial community to grow. Now, I want to get back to GEC 2025 specifically. Okay. So, this is what I'm looking for. As the GEC ambassador, I am looking for 10 exceptional individuals to join me in representing St. Lucia at GEC 2025. 10. Now, you may be wondering who is eligible to join this delegation? Who makes a part of that number 10? Well, I am looking for individuals from 7 key groups, okay, who are actively shaping entrepreneurship in St. Lucia. If this already sounds like you, then listen carefully. Okay? If this sounds like somebody that you know, even though it may not be you, please share this link with them and let them watch and let them listen. Okay? So, if you fall into the categories that I'm about to share with you, I want to hear from you. So, first and foremost, we have founders and startup leaders. So at GEN, we are building a strong global community of founders, and we want to take innovative, forward-thinking entrepreneurs to GEC. I would like to take innovative, forward-thinking entrepreneurs to GEC. Okay, saying Lucian entrepreneurs. If you have been part of initiatives such as EWC, right, working with me, or Startup Huddle St. Lucia, right? This is your chance to expand your network and your business globally. I am no longer the Startup Huddle St. Lucia organizer. The organizer position is now in the capable hands of Tanzania Mathria Fede, a wonderful, wonderful young woman, professional young woman, phenomenal young woman. She now leads Startup Huddle St. Lucia, because I am now focusing on my role as a global startup huddle mentor. So if you have participated in EWC in the past, if you have presented at Startup Huddle St. Lucia in the past, then this is your chance. You know, these are the people I'm speaking to when I talk about founders and startup leaders. Yeah, this is an example of what I'm talking about. If you have never participated in EWC before, if you have never presented at Startup Huddle St. Lucia, that doesn't matter, okay? But once you're a founder or a startup leader, you run a startup business, please contact me. But if you have already participated in this program, definitely you already meet the criteria. Okay, because you have been part of GEN programming, you already meet the criteria. But if you have not, please still reach out to me. Okay. Second group, policymakers and government officials. Now this one is a biggie. Okay, this one is a biggie for me. So I need government leaders who are working to shape policies that foster entrepreneurship in St. Lucia, not just talking the talk, but walking the walk. We hear about entrepreneurship in St. Lucia in the news. There's even an entire agency dedicated or devoted to entrepreneurship or to youth economy. This is me speaking to you guys. Those of you who are involved in policy making, those of you who are in the government, specifically persons at the Ministry of Commerce, yeah, persons at Export St. Lucia, persons at St. Lucia Bureau of Standards, persons within the Ministry of Equity as well, because we do have social enterprises in St. Lucia, right? So these are the persons that I'm referring to when I say government leaders, okay? So if you are involved in crafting policies for startups, MSMEs, and business development, this is where you can engage with other global leaders such as yourself and bring back best practices. So we have put a lot of emphasis on entrepreneurship in St. Lucia these past couple of months, past couple of years. This is where we get to interact with other government officials and policymakers who are doing it even more successfully than we are currently doing it, and we can learn from them and bring those practices back. Okay. The third group I'm looking for are investors. And I'm not talking about investors in name. Okay. I want to connect with investors, venture capitalists, and angel investors from St. Lucia, right? Who are interested or who are already building funds or already running investor platforms or mentoring startups. That's who GEC wants, right? GEC is where the best investment discussions happen. So you can get to meet with other persons from various countries and communities that are already doing what you're doing, maybe doing it better, or maybe you're doing it better, and maybe you can shed some light. Yeah. Ecosystem leaders. If you are an ecosystem builder, leading entrepreneurship or entrepreneurial support organizations, also known as ESOs, incubators, accelerators, this is for you. Okay. I want individuals who are actively shaping St. Lucia's startup ecosystem. I have been in the business of this for over 6 years, and I've encountered several persons who say, claim, purport to be active in the startup ecosystem. I'm not just talking about persons who show up on a screen. I'm not just talking about persons who show up to read a script. I'm not just looking for persons who say they do what they say they do. I'm looking for the actual persons who act on what they say they do. Okay. I'm also looking for researchers and academics. Yes, that's the other group. So if you're involved in entrepreneurship research, for example, data collection, or business education, Jen, we need thought leaders, universities, institutions that influence the future of entrepreneurship in St. Lucia to be part of this delegation. I remember I took part in a program, the Jeunesse program, right? And hundreds of persons benefited from participating in this program. And this is an example of what I'm talking about. So academics, yes. Researchers, yes. I want you, right? The other group is media professionals. And I cannot stress on this enough. Guys. The media is typically the last in the room or the first one to leave when it comes to events and opportunities like this. The media acts as our eyes and ears and can transfer and translate information that if you're not in the room, you would not be able to digest regardless. We need media to be able to share information, just as my mobile phone, was my camera and my source of media to relay my journey back to persons who are watching and following me when I went on my trip in 2019. Likewise, the media has a role to play as well. The media can play the role of telling St. Lucia's entrepreneurship story globally, not just waiting for me to send them B-roll or send them content on my phone or just do a quick interview. That's not what we're looking for. We need media presence. Okay? I am not a journalist. I will never claim to be one, and I will never be able to do a job as good as a journalist. I'm not a media professional. So I need somebody who is experienced in this, who knows what they're doing, who knows the questions to ask, who knows how to read a room, right? I'm looking for those experts, those media professionals to join me on this trip, who can cover the content, who can share the information back home. Okay? I'm looking for content creators who are dedicated to covering business, innovation, and entrepreneurship. That's what I'm looking for. Okay? And last but not least, the last group, strategic ecosystem partners. I'm reaching out to partners, organizations, individuals who work within those organizations who I have worked on in the past, who I have worked with in the past, sorry, on past projects. If you have, in any way, shape, or form, contributed to the growth of entrepreneurship in St. Lucia and can help to advance Jen's mission, then we want you. I want you on board with me. Okay? Now, I have to share that before you apply, excuse me, before you apply, here's something important to note. Delegates are responsible for covering their travel and accommodation costs. Okay, so this would include flights, hotels, meals, ground transport, so on. For the most part, I do believe some arrangement can be made for ground travel for getting persons to and from the airport to the hotel, from the hotel to the venue, and so on within approved times, of course, depending on the time that you arrive. Because just as in my case, because I arrived extremely late in Bahrain, I missed that opportunity. So I had to get a taxi to the hotel, right? But if you arrive within, I guess, a reasonable time or the allotted time that ground travel is available, I do believe that something can be arranged there. Okay, but for the most part, delegates, whoever those 10 delegates are, who will be accompanying me to Indianapolis, Indiana in June, you are responsible for covering your costs. Okay. Once selected, now that I've dealt with that part, okay, once selected, each delegate will receive a special registration code because there is a cost to GEC. But as a delegate, this is waived. Okay. Officially, once you register for GEC with this code that I will provide you with, you will be recognized as part of the St. Lucia delegation on the GEC website. And I will be giving you a glance as to what this website looks like so you have a better idea. Okay. This not only gives you access to GEC events, but it also positions you as a recognized leader from our country. Yes, that's what this code basically does. All right. So here's what I am going to do. Right. I'm going to just share with you what the venue looks like so you have an idea. And then I will move on from there. Okay, guys? So just bear with me. I'm going to share the page so that you can see what to expect from GEC 2025. So this is the venue. It's the Indiana Convention Center. So this is where GEC 2025 will take place. Okay, so it's located in the heart of downtown Indianapolis, and it's within a short walking distance of the recommended hotels where we would be staying. Okay, the Indiana Convention Center is an Exhibitor Magazine 2021-2022 Centers of Excellence Award recipient, and this is the address of the center. Okay, so that is the venue. All right. All right, so let's take a look at what did I want to show you. Okay, so let's take a look at accommodations. Right, I wanted you to take a look at the accommodations and what that will look like. So these are the recommended hotels that Jen is sharing that you would be, of course, selecting if you do get to come as part of the delegation. So we have Congress host hotels. All right, here we go. So we have the Westin Indianapolis. We have the Indianapolis Marriott downtown. Then we have properties within walking distance. We have the JW Marriott Indianapolis, the Hyatt Regency Indianapolis, the Omni Severin Hotel, and the Hilton Indianapolis Hotel and Suites. Okay. So right there on the page, once you, of course, have decided that you want to be part of the delegation and you get your code, this is where you'll be booking your hotel, your accommodation. Okay, right there on the page. But all of the links will be provided to you so that you can go ahead and do that. All right. The next thing that I will show you is okay, let's see. What else can I show you? Oh, yes. In terms of the speakers, we do have some really great speakers that will be doing panel sessions, that will be leading discussions, side events as well. I'm actually down to do to host a mini side event. I'm not exactly sure which one as yet, but I will confirm closer to the date. But these are just some of the delegates so far that have been confirmed, right? Or that have been registered and already been confirmed. Okay. So if you notice, these are high profile people. Okay. If you look at their designations, if you look at their images, their countries, these are high profile individuals. And if so many individuals, so many high profile individuals, policymakers, government officials, investors can take a moment to represent their country at GEC, why not St. Lucia? Why not us? Why should we not have a seat at the table? Why shouldn't we? We should. We should. We have 2 Gen programs, correction. We have 3 Gen programs running in St. Lucia. Okay. We have GEW, that is Global Entrepreneurship Week. It's a Gen program. We have Entrepreneurship World Cup, that's EWC. We have Startup Huddle. We are currently operating or leading 3 Gen programs in St. Lucia. If so many of Gen programs are being run in St. Lucia and benefiting so many individuals, why not have a seat at the table? We should be there. So I am looking for 10 individuals to join me, okay? To join me on this trip to Indianapolis, Indiana at GEC. And this is our headliner. Most of you may know him from Shark Tank, Mr. Mark Cuban. He is the co-founder of Cost Plus Drugs. So he is the headliner for this year's GEC. Okay? So these are our registered speakers who make up part of the delegates so far. In terms of participants, of course, I'm on the list. I'm not going to go through the entire list, but we have hundreds, okay, thousands of persons from across the globe who will be present at this event. I want 10 persons to join me. In 2019, I did not get that opportunity, okay? When I attended in 2019, it was for 2 reasons. It was because I had been nominated for an award and also because I was a panel speaker. 2 accomplishments that St. Lucia had achieved for the first time ever. St. Lucia had never had, before that time, an entrepreneur nominated for a Gen Compass Award. This was the first time. Okay? The other feat was as a panel speaker at a GEC event. That was another first. We have made strides so far. We can go a step further. So I'm looking for those 10 individuals to join me. It is going to be such a massive, massive opportunity. So if you fit any of these categories that I mentioned, those 7 categories, and you are excited about joining me in representing St. Lucia at GEC 2025, here's what I need you to do. Okay, so I need you to send me a message via email. So you can reach me at I am your startup advisor at gmail.com, and you can CC mnssamuel.sluddtera@gmail.com. So that is via email. Okay, so again, I am your startup advisor at gmail.com, and ccmnsamuel.sludtera@gmail. So that is if you were to reach me via email. Okay. You can also reach me via either one of my websites. Okay. And that is SLUDTERA, that is SLUDTERA.org. That's the first one. And then for the MNS Consultancy, you can reach me at michelleNsamuel.com. So on either one of those sites, you can go to the contact page and you can reach out to me there. Okay, that's the first step. So step 2, fill out the commitment form, okay, that you will be provided with after we've had our discussion. This will confirm your interest and secure your spot. All right. And then the third step, pre-confirmed individuals who would have filled in this form will then be invited to join one of my 3 virtual info sessions, which will be held between April 11th and April 20th. Okay, so these are specifically for those pre-confirmed individuals. Now, of course, more than 10 persons will be invited if more than 10 persons pre-confirm, of course. But however, I'm looking for 10. Okay, so this is an opportunity to be part of a global movement, shaping the future of entrepreneurship. Let's show the world the strength of St. Lucia's entrepreneurial system. Let's show them. I cannot wait to connect with all of you. Please drop a comment in the comment box below if you are interested. Just drop a comment if you have a question about anything, and I will be grateful to answer. I'll be glad to answer. If I don't have the response, I can reach out to the management team at Jen and get back to you. Share this with someone who should be part of the delegation. Okay, let's make history at GEC 2025. All right. So I want to thank all of you for tuning in today, those of you who are watching right now, and those of you who will watch the replay later down the line. I want to thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your support. Again, thank you for all of those who sent me your congratulations. I appreciate that. I have a very big role. I have a very big task ahead of me. And I look forward to building an incredible St. Lucia delegation for GEC 2025. Okay? So remember, entrepreneurship is for everyone, if that's what you choose. And our voices matter on the global stage. Okay? Our voices matter. Let's make St. Lucia proud, guys. Okay? And I do believe that someone asked me a question regarding visa. So for this particular event, if you do not already have a visa, you will be assisted with a letter so that you can apply for a business visa, because that is the nature of this event. It's a business conference. So what you would be applying for, or what you'll be assisted in applying for, is a business visa. It's a temporary visa that will last for just the duration of the conference. But if you have a regular, tourist visa, that's fine. You can travel on that. Once it's valid, that is fine. But if you do not yet have a valid US visa, then the business visa is what you would be applying for. It's called the B1. Okay, the B1 visa. It's temporary, and it is just for the purpose of traveling to attend this particular conference. So if that is you, then not to worry, assistance is available for that. When I say assistance, I'm talking about a letter to prove that this is the reason you are applying for the visa. Okay. Furthermore, I want to also encourage persons to reach out to me. If you have never participated in any global entrepreneurial event in the past and you are already in the space, please reach out to me and let me know what you're doing. That is the only way I can know, is if you reach out to me and let me know what you're doing. And let's have a conversation and see if we can help you to be part of the community. Okay, so I want to thank you again for those of you who tuned into this live. Thank you for those of you who are sharing the link and encouraging your friends, your colleagues to watch, to listen. I appreciate you. Those of you who would be leaving questions, I will be responding to the questions after the live. So please drop your questions in the comment box. And until next time, follow SLUDTERA on Facebook, on Instagram. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so that you can get updated on future videos that I will be doing, future live streams. Follow us on WhatsApp. We have a WhatsApp channel. That is where immediate updates are shared prior to being shared on our other social media pages and channels. But I do want to hear from you, okay? If you fall under those 7 categories, please reach out to me. I want to hear from you so that we can start building this delegation, okay? So I'm just going to recap the 7 groups that I mentioned. So founders and startup leaders, policymakers, government officials, investors, ecosystem leaders, researchers and academics, media professionals, and finally, strategic ecosystem partners. So these are the categories of individuals that I'm looking for to make up the 10 persons, the delegation of 10, who will join me in Indianapolis, Indiana in June. Okay? And that is from June 2nd to June 5th. All right? So until next time, again, stay inspired, stay ambitious, and keep building. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe this particular channel for more updates. And I look forward to hearing from each and every one of you. Thank you so very much and have a blessed and wonderful day. I have a promo video that I'm going to play right after. So take a look at what you can expect in this upcoming GEC. Okay, here we go.